Good evening, welcome to Calder Park. This is round 6 of the Velocity Racing League Australian Touring Car Championship. We've got about a minute to go in this qualifying session before we kick off a dash. It is a dash round for the top 6, who are currently Cicluna, Donnelly, Sargason, Meredith, Callister and McEwen. Riley Smith right at the edge of it, looking to get in. And we'll bring up the gaps. I had them up there. There we go. You can see it's very close there. Nick Mello just crossed the line and couldn't quite get into the top 6, but he's in front of Riley Smith at the moment. Jack Callister now is on the bubble as the qualifying session is about to expire, and we will see where everyone shakes out. Last corner. Nick Mello now coming to the line. Where's he going to end up? Still 7th fastest. Couldn't quite crack the top 6. It's actually going to be anyone else to cross the line, or I'm just going to look at nothing here. Well, there's the next car, Max Spivey. He sits in 18th at the moment. Is he going to go any higher than that? Up to 16th. So a slight improvement. Here comes one of the Supras. Followed by Paddy Donnelly. And so the times are Cicluna, Donnelly, Sargason, McEwen, Meredith and Callister are your top 6. Here's your full qualifying standings. Cicluna, Donnelly, Sargason, McEwen, Meredith, Callister, Mello, Smith, Norman, Elliott, followed by Lambeth, Williams, Childs, McCamley, then Betts, Satria, Spivey, Fergs, Crick, Molnar, and then Wiley, Mangin and Butler. That is the 23 car grid for this evening. Okay. We'll get ready now for the next session coming up, which is the 6-lap dash. And in the meantime, let's take you just a quick look around this circuit. Here's this incredible long 1 kilometre straight down the front here. Extremely wide, uses a drag strip. It's one of the few uses that Calder Park is used for now, is the drag racing. Let's be interrupted for a sec by this screen fading to black. Heavy braking, tight first corner. Big hairpin loop around, and then you have to wind your way through the chicane, right, left, up a hill, up a big artificial hill, and then down, flip-flop, right, left, very fast, flat out, pretty much, and then heavy braking coming down into turn number 6. Now, the interesting point about that is that there's no braking marker on the track there. So the drivers are kind of having to play by ear or find some unusual things to use their braking markers, like clumps of spectators or something. Another left-right. It's very similar to turn 2 and 3, but it's a bit more elongated there. And under the Goodyear Bridge, and then round the last hairpin back onto this main straight, kilometre-long high-power circuit. And we should see those more powerful cars doing well. You can see there the Skylines, the VLs. The Volvo is still mixing it up there as well. But that top 10 is absolutely dominated by those makes. Okay. There's a bit more of a diverse 11th to 20th. time for the dash. We'll see you shortly. On the grid now for the 3-lap dash, which kicks off in 3 minutes. And we've got 2 cars on the grid, and then my big Dodge Monaco at the back of it. There we are. People starting to get in. That's good. We have got the following cars in this dash. It's Daniel Cicluna in the Skyline, starting on pole, and Paddy Donnelly alongside him. Sam Sargason in third, and then Alex McEwen in fourth. The only Volvo in this mini race. And then Jack Meredith and Jack Callister making an all jacked up third row. Okay. We saw how much a long straight can tip the scales in advantage of particularly the VLs. In the dash in Adelaide, got out front and then there was a race-long battle to try and slide back past, but looking forward to this one for sure because it's similar, big long main straight, down to a heavy braking zone at the first corner, but it's pretty much exclusively the domain of the power cars, this track. Mate, I'm only a bad imposter because I'm inexperienced, alright? And that's probably a good thing, to be honest. Thank you, Spivey. Focus on the race here, like qualifying 16th or something. A minute 15 to go. And we'll just take a look at the championship standings very quickly. So Cicluna, Donnelly are now... Well, that points gap has been expanded a fair bit, up to 38 points difference in favour of the Skyline. Then Jack Callister sits pretty happily in third in a battle with Nick Mello. Harry Keel in fifth. Who's not here, unfortunately, tonight. Then it's Sam Sargason, Mashiro Arisaka, Riley Smith, Alex McEwen, and Calfando. Makes up your top 10 in the standings, with Will Lambeth, Max Spivey, Josh Hill, Ronald Williams, and Jack Meredith 15th. So just about set to go now for the dash. Oh, there's a car that's missing off the grid, and it's Jack Meredith. Jack Meredith's second. Well, we're away nonetheless. Cicluna takes the lead, and Donnelly slots him behind, but now looks to the inside. Could be on for a move at the first corner. No, a little bit too far back. It's Alex McEwen in the Volvo, who must have missed the start. Was sent straight back to the pit lane. And he will likely start sixth in this race. Dennis Cicluna continues to hold, leading the way. And Linus Turner, Donnelly, Meredith, followed by Sargason and Jack Callister, rounds out this group of 5, with McEwen missing the start. Runs out very wide on the exit, through the exit of the final corner. Does Paddy Donnelly. Reach as high a top speed as possible, but it's not going to be enough. If he can stay close, he might have a chance on this final lap. So McEwen sits 17 seconds from the next car as they all file their way through. Almost out to the grass, but both clearly use a fair bit of grass through that little kink. Just trying to make it as short as possible. On the blast of the hairpin. 1 to go. Donnelly looks a little bit too far back. Oh, actually, he's gaining fairly quickly. He's a bit too far back at the moment. I wonder if he can hold on. Cicluna's run out very wide at the hairpin, and Donnelly lost it a bit on the curb. Leaping over those curves, running right out into the grass. Paddy Donnelly giving it everything. Try and get close. Can't do so. Jack Meredith run a bit wide there. Potentially, and Sansai Gason could be on for a last corner lunge here. Gets up the inside, not quite far enough. Can try and bump him out of the way. Meredith has come back across the track. If he lost traction, he definitely lost traction, but he's come back across the track, and Sargason's going to lose another position. And so it's going to be Cicluna from Donnelly. Meredith holds 3rd position in circumstances that are a little questionable. Jack Callister and then Sam Sargason. And Alex McEwen will be the last across the line in his Volvo. And that's the dash. Leaping up and over. And over the spectator bound and in the ground. So you'll probably see a fair bit of that come race end. We've got the first race coming up in just a moment. So to repeat, Dennis Cicluna will start on pole, Paddy Donnelly, then Jack Meredith, Jack Callister and Sam Sargason in 5th, followed by Alex McEwen. So beyond that, it's Nick Mello, Riley Smith, Isaac Norman, John Elliott, Will Lambeth, and then Ronald Williams, Lee Childs, Matt McCamley, Adam Betts, Ricky Satria, Max Spivey, Phil Fergs, Mike Crick, Janos Molnar, Ben Wiley, Vince Mangin, and Ricky Butler are the 23 cars that will be on the grid. Now, Darnay McKeague did go out, apparently. I'm not sure. He shows up on my timing tower here, but on the results screen for the qualifying, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, we'll get underway for race 1 in just a moment. Welcome back to Calder Park in Melbourne. 2 minutes to go until the race. Now we've got a little bit of an update on what happened to Alex at the start of that dash, which is a bit of bad luck with his clutch pedal, flickering between 99 and 100%. So couldn't get that going before the start of the dash, unfortunately. So he starts 6th. Okay, ready to go. Race 10 of 11 of the championship. Away in racing. So Cleaner's got the ideal jump. Donnelly's he's on the outside line with powerful VRL Commodore. They fan out 3 wide through the pack and then try to funnel back in together for turn 1. They all going to get through there safely. It seems okay for now. Oh, Matt McCamley's gone round in the middle of the pack, and everyone seems to avoid him so far. Cicluna, Donnelly, Meredith, Sargason, Callister, Smith, Mello, McEwen, Childs and Lambeth are your top 10 at the moment. As they roar down the back straight. Jack Callister's got himself in a bit of battling. Nick Mello on his outside. Riley Smith just ahead. McEwen is in there as well, and so is Lee Childs, who's doing very well for himself in the RX-7. Especially on this sort of track with a big long main straight. So into the first lap, Clooney leads Donnelly, Meredith, Smith, Callister. That's top 5. Incredibly long main straight. Bit over 1 kilometre. And there's the gap at the front. Up and over the hill, we'll see them appear. There's a car that dropped off my timing screens then. Didn't catch who that was. Dane is back in the race. He's 20th at the moment after having they seem to have some problems in qualifying. We're away. Well and truly getting on to the 3rd lap now. So Clean just moves across to the inside and then back out to the racing line. Dudley's too far back. Now, although there's a fair bit of power in that car, he's going for a big dive down the inside and taps him around, almost half spin. Meredith slides past and straight into the lead of the race. That was a bit over-ambitious, that dive at the first corner of Paddy Donnelly, and tapped Cicluna, but didn't turn him around all the way. Scicluna managed to hold on to it, but they've both lost out as a result of that. Jack Meredith is into the lead. And Scicluna goes for a big dive up the inside and just runs it straight off the road. So that's the lack of braking marker down there. Donnelly wants to try and get past the other VRL Commodore in his way. And now they both get past Scicluna. Just trying to redress those positions. It's going to be 3 abreast here, potentially. No, it looks like Donnelly's got enough of a run to hold off Scicluna. Not quite Meredith though. Looking around the outside is he. And you're on the outside for the next corner as well. Scicluna is getting up in there too. And Meredith holds on to at least second position. Up and over the hill, side by side. And someone has to yield going through that chicane on the back straight. It is the Skyline this time. Goes for a dive. Just about makes it stick. Runs him right out to the edge of the road. They're bumping and grinding all the way through. Turns 6 and 7. And now through the last corner, Riley Smith is getting involved as well, and Paddy Donnelly's opened up a 2-second margin. Now here comes Riley Smith. On the inside of Jack Meredith. With Daniel Scicluna right there, and we're watching from Jack Calder. Now Meredith has just gone straight on at the first corner. Well off, and he's dropped a number of positions, now behind Nick Mello, down to 7th place. "27 lap race, a bit longer. Well, it feels a bit longer because there's a 1-minute lap time. There's Scicluna running off the road again. Shout out to Rick Satcher and the Rover in 9th place in a Rover. Doing very well for himself there. Max Spivey's up a number of positions into 8th as well. As Riley Smith and Scicluna run side by side down to the hairpin. Jack Calder wants to be involved in that as well. Riley Smith right out to the edge. Absolutely no, barely a car's width. Scicluna dives to the inside. Can he get it under braking? They both run deep. Callister's going to try and slide up the inside of both of them. He'll only get Riley Smith. And Alex McEwen's going to sneak past in the Volvo as well. Oh, not quite though. Smith's going to get the advantage through turn 2 and 3. Now down to the back straight. They go line of stern again. So Scicluna, Calder, Smith and McEwen is 2nd to 5th at the moment, and Paddy Donnelly has got a 3-second margin as Jack Calder once more looking on the Skyline, the big purple Skyline, who leads the championship at the moment. Picked up 6 championship points in that dash. Jack Calder wants to take a few off him here. Dennis Clooney looks to be pulling a bit of a margin now, 1 second, but Riley Smith is right on the back of a podium position here. We'll watch him as he comes through. Up and over the hill. Car on the side of the road there, that might be Mansion. Looked like a Supra. As here comes Riley Smith. Slipstream and just pure power. That's what that is. Daniel Clooney set the fast lap of the race, and Riley Smith is going to breeze past Jack Callister. Callister looking back on the inside at the first corner, but not enough room. And McEwen and Meredith are now going at it, so Meredith has recovered from that mistake. Oh, there's a car in the middle of it all. That is... that's the new BMW of Butler, Ricky Butler. Just trying to get out of the way. Here we are, move looks to be on for 5th place. Jack Meredith can get far enough up the inside here. He'll be able to hold the position, and he does. 5th place for Jack Meredith. Alex McEwen slides into 6th. He's not going to give up yet. Big dive on, down at turn number 6. And sliding all the way through the corner. I wonder if he was helped a little bit. Couldn't quite see it from that angle, but he holds on to 5th place. Nick Mello is right there as well. Waiting to pounce if a mistake comes from one of these two. And Jack Callister's on the back of Riley Smith as those two continue their battle. Jack Meredith pulls away pretty convincingly down the main straight. Satria has gone around. That's unfortunate. He drops down to 17th position as we watch Nick Mello now. cut to Ronald Williams as he's just been involved in an accident. And I was intending to click on Sargason's name, but there must have been something going on here. Here's Will Lambeth, Sam Sargason down the main straight, R31 on the inside, VL Commodore on the outside. Sargason going to be able to slip in here. Just go for a big move. Not quite far enough up. And Will Lambeth's got the place at the moment. This is for 9th. He's sliding all the way through the last corner, the first corner rather. Just a bit further up the road. It's 1/10 of a second between Smith and Calder for a moment there. And it's really frustrating for Jack Callister because he can't get past this car in the twiddly bits before this big long straight. Where it just pulls away. Massive dive at the limit of braking performance. Oh, hello. I didn't even realise Jack Meredith is very close, and close enough to make a pass. Through he goes, up into 4th place. And Alex McEwen is very close as well. Down to the final corner, so 10 to go when they cross the line. Here, it's Paddy Donnelly leading by only 3/10 of a second. It's tightening up at the front. Been a lapped car involved in that one, maybe. You're watching Jack Meredith there, looking down the inside of Riley Smith for a podium position here. Gonna grind doors. Tail wags just a little bit in that car. And he's gonna slide, tried to slot in into 4th place. But copped a bit of a serve from Jack Callister there. In fact, here comes Callister up the inside. Looking to make a move. He's far enough up for a move at the hairpin, and he has just about got through. Alex McEwen's trying to as well. It's going to actually compromise Meredith's exit and may well give Callister... No, I was going to say give Callister 4th position, but here comes the VL. Down the main straight. This car on the inside there. Oh, is that Butler again? Oh, he's got to be careful. He's got to be, it's a blue flag situation, of course. This guy's fighting incredibly hard for position. Jack Meredith's gone into the back of him and lost 2 positions out of that. Oh, he's going to be fuming. That car's still there on the outside. He's been caught up behind it again, and Nick Mello slid through. And finally Meredith gets past. Well. That's going to be a fun chat tonight. Here comes Jack Callister, Alex McEwen side by side. In the 1.6 seconds advantage that Paddy Donnelly has now over Daniel Secluna, and so he's grown that out a fair bit. As it's between Callister, McEwen, Mello and Meredith, who got a bit unlucky there. You're watching there McEwen running side by side with Callister. Allows for side by side racing through a large section, that final sequence of corners. As Nick Mello now slides past Callister. If you're on the outside there, you're in big trouble as well. As so brilliantly exemplified by Jack Callister. Lap 21 of 27. Jack Meredith just pops his head up and looks around the outside of Callister. He's got one. He's going to try and have a go at Nick Mello as well, down into the last corner. But holding the position is Callister on the inside. Let's see if that VO will just slide past though. Could well do so. Back at the front, it's 7/10 of a second now between Paddy Donnelly and Daniel Secluna. It could be closing in for an exciting climax to this race. Take a look behind view here. And he's certainly close enough to have a crack at this before the end of the race. Only 4 to go. perhaps? No, isn't quite going to resort to that yet. Down the main straight. And there's 3 to go when they cross the line. There's a bit of lap traffic in front to contend with at the same time. Cicluna looks to the outside. The last corner onto the main straight. Donnelly straight to the inside. Cicluna's going to run with him. They have to get their way around a lapped Volvo of John Elliott, and now down into the first corner once more. There's a bump. There's a big bump, and Donnelly has just about hung on to it. So just run into the back of him. It wasn't quite the big dive that happened earlier in the race, but still, as with that, they've both managed to hang on to it, and will continue on. Behind it's Riley Smith, Alex McEwen, Nick Mello, Jack Meredith and Jack Callister in what feels like a very fluid top 7. 1 to go. Goes so deep under brakes to Cicluna. He's going to probably have one last opportunity. Down at the heavy braking zone at turn 6, which he's had problems with throughout this race. Donnelly gets the exit. Leaping up and over the curbs. He's going to have to stick behind for now. If he can get close enough, force a little bit of an overlap. Slides out, goes up the inside. Almost off the road, and they make contact but manage to once more get away with it. It's going to be Donnelly who streaks away into the lead. Is Cicluna going to catch him? No, he's not. Paddy Donnelly wins race 11 of the championship. Behind, it's Riley Smith being followed over the line very closely, like a stalker. Alex McEwen in 4th. Sam Sargason holds on for 8th place. There's a lot of very close finishes on the cards here. Only 0.5 of a second between Max Spivey and Will Lambeth. 0.3 of a second between Matt McCamley and John Elliott, as they come across the line now. Isaac Norman is just up behind Ronald Williams. So it's a tight grid for sure. And look at the state of that car. And beaten up and banged all over the place. But Paddy Donnelly wins the race with Daniel Cicluna from pole position, coming home in 2nd. Riley Smith, Alex McEwen, Nick Mello, Jack Meredith, Jack Callister, Sam Sargason, then Will Lambeth, Max Spivey, Lee Childs, followed Adam Betts, Ronald Williams, and then Isaac Norman, Ben Wiley, Phil Fergs, Matt McCamley, and then John Elliott, Ricky Satria, and Janos Molnar. That's your 20 for this one. And behind them was Mike Crick and Ricky Butler. McKee retired. Vince Mangian 24th, but McKee didn't make the end of the race. He was about 5 laps short. Anyway, regardless, that's the end of that race. And starting on pole will be Ricky Butler. That was a fun one. We'll see you back here in just a moment for the second race. It's going to be full reverse grid. Coming down to the start of race 2. I made a mistake before. It's Vince Mangian who's actually on the front row with Adana McKee alongside. They did finish enough of the race to be classified and thus take part in the reverse grid. So, Butler starts in third, Mike Crick in fourth. Lights out. We're away. They're even. Absolutely dead even, the Supras. As they roll down towards turn 1, Jack Meredith's out onto the grass on the inside. He manages to gather it all up. Oh, no, he doesn't. There's lots of cars around. That's Paddy Donnelly involved in it. And so is Alex McEwen. There's a Ford Mustang of Ronald Williams. Will Lambeth is there. Is that Matt McCamley as well? Now as they all concertina up, we're under safety car conditions to start off this race. So I thought he got on okay, but then you see that a number of cars go flying about. Jack Meredith does remain in 12th position, so it could well be someone spooked by him coming back on as well. That can happen. But even before turn 1, and it's happened a couple of times, and it's not something I'm particularly pleased with. Will Lambeth off on the inside as well. Car problem perhaps. Anyway, safety car out. Lap 2 of 27. Still got a fair way to go in this one. We might get one more after this and then be back to racing. The field is gathering up. To look at the entire field. And McKee is going to have control. Safety car comes in at the end of this lap. That's quite the picture, isn't it? Safety car's going to begin accelerating away from the field. for the last couple of corners. Oh, I runs it straight off the road. There you go. Straight across. And round into the pit lane. It's a bit of an odd pit lane entry actually. It's really on the wide. Donna McKeague has gone early. Well, that's going to be a penalty, isn't it? Oh, this is messy, isn't it? So they're going to do another restart, it seems. So that was the Donna McKeague going a little bit too early before the signal was given, which the signal was given fairly late, in fairness. Well, after all that, he's... Safety car's trying to catch back up. Adana's left now. So what the race directors decide to do there is kind of like a wave off, as opposed to giving a penalty later on. It's just decided to resolve it on track by waving off the start. A bit like what you might see in America. And, well, after all that, now Mike Crick's got control of the field. Two Supras leading the way. Was three. It's now two. Ricky Butler, followed by Ricky Satriot, or Ricky second row. Elliot Wiley, Norman Fergs, Spivey, Molnar, Meredith Childs, Mello Smith, Cicluna, Sagason, Callister, and Beth. We'll stay on board with Dennis Cicluna here, down towards the back of the field, and you will see what it looks like. Safety car restart right deep in the middle from the point of view of our championship leader. Everyone trying to keep a decent amount of distance while staying close. Green flags are out and away goes Mike Crick at the front. No overtaking before the control line, of course. Crick's he's got a jump on his teammate, absolutely flying, and there's a lot of people getting past Ricky Butler, or trying to get past. One of the Rover is through of Satria, and he's also gotten past Vince Manchin in the middle of all of that. Ben Wiley now up the inside, slides past, a little bit of contact, and Manchin's been turned around, and he will go to the back of the field. The entire field streams past him. Meredith and Isaac Norman were locked in a battle there. Nick Mello is getting involved in that. There's a fair bit going on down here at turn 6. And Butler's right in the thick of it. As Spivey and Elliott and Meredith and Mello all slide past. Away in racing in race 12, and it's Meredith leading this mini train. It's already starting to form up. He's got up the inside of Max Spivey, fairly simply. Mike Cribb continues to hold the lead, not for much longer, it doesn't look like. Ben Wiley's right there in his VK Commodore. Could have a look down the inside here at the final corner, and a little bit too far back for that one. Try and get the exit. He's got a few more horses under the hood. So by side they run down the main straight. Meredith's got the fast lap of the race, 1:03.378, I think that was. It's a lot faster to go, but people have got to get into some clean air before that. There's the order as they come up and over the hill. There's Cicluna, currently sits 9th. Donnelly is down in 14th. He was heavily involved in that accident on the run to the first corner. Into the 2s now, in terms of time. Meredith slides past both. Crick and Satria gets them both. On for a good result here if he stops lagging as well. That's not particularly pleasant, is it? Now the Rover's been passed by Mello too. And Riley Smith gets past as well. Leaping up and over the curves. Here's Riley Smith and Nick Mello both getting past Mike Crick, who's dropped down a lot of positions. He's down to 9th. Going straight on is, well, Nick Mello's around. Was that Riley Smith going straight on as well? Elliott past Creek now. Wiley continues to lead the race only by a second. Have to keep an eye on that battle out the front. It's going to heat up very shortly. We're on board with Jack Meredith. Wiley to the outside of... Meredith to the outside of Wiley. And it's not going to be easy for him. Not going to be made easy for him. Wiley holds on to the position. Oh, Wiley's gone straight on. And here we'll rejoin. Will he rejoin in the lead? He'll have to give up that time at the very least. Which it looks like he has done. Probably given up a bit too much because it's really compromised his exit, and Meredith's going to slide past unless that was what he was intending to do. Jack Meredith leads the race. Max Spivey sits in third. And there's some battling with Cicluna and Riley Smith chasing each other all over the road down the main straight. Into the hairpin turn at the first corner. Smith holds the inside and holds fourth position as a result. Samsung Asen is right there as well, looking up the inside of his fellow Skyline. And Spivey's gotten past Wiley as well, as Cicluna tries desperately to hold on to at least fifth position. With Sargason right there, waiting to bounce. Cicluna's the latest to go past Wiley. Oh, a little bit of a bump given by Sargason. And is it going to be enough to allow him to get past? No, not quite. Couldn't quite get the exit he desired. Looks to the outside. Needs to be careful. Paddy Donnelly comes in out of nowhere and completely smashes Ben Wiley into the wall. Donnelly's out in the grass as well. Now that's not going to do his championship hopes any favours. Oh, that came out of nowhere, gee whiz. Donnelly now sits 16th and Wiley in 11th. But at the front it's Jack Meredith from Max Spivey, Riley Smith. 3 VRL Commodores in a row. It's the last of the power tracks before we get to Bathurst. We've got Lakeside and Norrin Park coming up next. And of course Bathurst, which is always a bit of a who knows what will happen. Go back to Mike Crick and Lee Childs battling over 13th place. Will Lambeth is riding behind, and so is Paddy Donnelly. And they're all converging on one another here, with Will Lambeth and Paddy Donnelly sliding past both Crick and Childs. Childs now looking up the inside of Crick for what has become 15th place. And he's going to get him. Lambeth is sliding all over the road and off it as well. And he's well off. Paddy Donnelly gets past, so does Childs and Crick, who battle side by side down into the chicane on the back straight. And get it all gathered up. They do. Here comes Betts, the inside of Crick. He's going to get that move done. So he will take 15th place. As we go back with Riley Smith and Max Spivey side by side. Cicluna right there as well. So you have to be careful, try and force the gap. Still side by side. Right out to the exit of the road. Only 10 laps remain in this one. It's a 2.4 second lead for Jack Meredith, which has been, by the way, just cut down by 8 tenths as I was saying that. Riley Smith sits in second at the moment. You can see him there with Max Spivey trying to fight off championship leader Dennis Cicluna, sits in fourth. His rival is 12th, Paddy Donnelly. 13th now, passed by Wiley. Cicluna had too much pace, nearly went straight to the back of Max Spivey. Looks to the outside, has been given a little bit of room there. Not much point going out that far. Now looks for a move up the inside here at the final corner. They bump twice on the way through. And Max Spivey looks like he's going to pull away. Tuck back into the slipstream. Maybe try and grab him under braking. He brakes a lot later. And late enough to make the move stick very cleanly. Up into third, the podium positions for Dennis Cicluna. Jack Meredith and Riley Smith still to lead the way. Yeah, there's enough time to catch them. Have a look at this battle pack. It's Donnelly out in front, Trio, then Mello, then Wiley on the back of it as well. The only rovers out there. There's a car off. Paddy Donnelly has got caught up with a lapped car, the Mazda RX-7. Hunter McConnell. Mello now runs alongside the Rover. Gets out into the grass ever so slightly. It's enough to let Mello go a bit, and Riley could be opportunistic. Have a go at the last corner, the sixth corner. That last sequence, and he does. Mello's gone straight on in the foreground. There's a car sideways, it's Mangian. As Satria and Wiley continue to battle, and Satria's been punted out. Wiley tries to come back on and finds Lee Childs in the RX-7. Trying to get going again. Which he does, ends up ahead of Wiley, who's down in 17th, and Lee Childs. Now Alex Betts is looking, sitting 13th. Lee Childs wants that place back. Looking around the outside. Meanwhile, towards the front, Sargason and Spivey are going at it, and crucially, Scicluna and Smith over second place. Smith moving along to the inside of the road. Scicluna's going to have to dive back around the outside, under braking into the first corner. A little bit of a nudge. Four to go when they next cross the line. Big dive on. This is from Sargason, who got past Max Spivey and is now looking on Scicluna. Riley Smith is right there. Big battle heating up. Jack Meredith could well be on for his for a victory. It's all about the battle for second here at the moment as Scicluna looks around the outside of Riley Smith. Runs out wide, runs out very wide indeed, and lets Sargason through as well. Oh, out into the grass is Sargason. Scicluna's going to get past both of them. Down to turn number 6. No, he's not quite going to get there. Riley Smith still has the inside line here. But it's a complex sequence of corners. Max Spivey's just gone straight across. And Sargason looking up the inside. He made contact. They're all rubbing nose to tail here. Onto the main straight. Moves to the inside. No space there. Has to go to the outside here. Get him under brakes perhaps. Yeah, it's not quite deep enough. They run side by side through the first corner. Is Scicluna going to be able to switch back? No, he's not. Riley Smith doing some incredible defending at the moment. From these two hungry Skyline R31s. Mazda gets out of the way as Cluna serves up Smith once more, and again, and bumps, and gets his way through. So, out onto the main straight now. He does an old bump and run. Sargason is in the slipstream too. But look at the way that car pulls away. Riley Smith's going to have an easier time of things passing, especially if he does something like that. Looks like the inside gives him a bump, and Secluna's well off and out into the grass. He was served up by Sargason there, but he is going to be able to hold on to the back of this battle. 2 to go. Oh, they're all bumping into one another. Sargason off into the wall on the left-hand side. Look at him skidding all the way and hits the wall hard. At the exit of turn 6, the battle continues on. Max Spivey is across the grass once more. Riley Smith grabs back second position. One to go now. Jack Meredith leads the way. So Secluna's through. He's up into second. Riley Smith is right there in third. He's got a fair bit more power under his right foot that he can take advantage of, but he's now very far back. Just a couple of more corners to go. Meanwhile, Jack Meredith rounds the last corner. I can tell you, it's been a while since he's won a race, but he's going to do it here. Across the line, Jack Meredith is the winner of race 12. Secluna's going to come home in second with Riley Smith in third. Hard fought for sure. Max Spivey and then Alex McEwen only 8/10 behind. Now, Lee Charles, look at him right on the back of Stria. Coming down into the final corner. Isn't quite there for a move, I don't think. Bumping him all the way through. It's a V8 inside that Rover, so that'll assist him as he comes towards the line. And Charles is going to have to settle for 13th position. It's Jack Meredith lighting it up as he comes around. So, that concludes the round 6 of the championship. Round 7 is next weekend at Lakeside International Raceway, which is quite the favourite. I think a lot of people will be looking forward to. Jack Meredith, Dennis Secluna, Riley Smith, Max Spivey, Alex McEwen, John Elliott, Paddy Donnelly, Ronald Williams, Nick Mello in 9th, and then Sam Sargason in 10th. Jack Callister, Ricky Satria, Lee Childs, Will Lambeth, Adam Betts, Ben Wiley, Mike Crick, Isaac Norman, Phil Fergs, Matt Camley, and then Janos Molnar, Hunter McClummett, Ricky Butler, and then Vince Mangin, and then Danny McKee didn't go past lap 3. So that concludes that race, and I guess all that's left to say is thanks for watching, and we will see you next weekend at Lakeside.